His phone. Who would have thought?
So stupid.
Look! E.C. Bueller must be his day off. Neat.
Now, if you take out this ultra-comprehensive sum-deductible type of policy, you're completely insured with an adequate income for life. That is, provided you don't expire before the policy does.
Now, would you
this the
mind going over
Cajun
that
chef?
again? I don't quite understand
Well,
about
certainly.
this.
You see, it's really very simple. You
It's
pay
called
this small
Herbalife.
premium once a month for 20 years. At the end of which time you're completely covered for life. Now, isn't that simple?
Well, it sounds reasonable.
It's a deal.
Knucklehead Smith makes a sale.
Well, no. The proposition sounds interesting, but...
It's you I don't
I'll
like.
think it over for a few days. Thanks for coming over.
Well, I'll call in a couple days.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Sure.
And stay away from my daughter.
That's funny. Thought I had him. Wonder what I did wrong.
Guess I shouldn't have spit on his rug.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Seemed like a nice guy.
At
What he
first.
was talking about.
Hey,
Do
H.L.
you
Mencken.
know that every day someone loses a sale
Or an arm.
or creates a misunderstanding just because he does not speak intelligibly? In the next few minutes, we're
It's
going
Andy
to give
Rooney's
you some
godfather.
examples of good and bad speech and show you the main faults of most speakers. We'll show you some things to do and some things not to do.
Oh, you're over there
The first
now.
thing that every speaker should do is to learn the three basic aims of public speaking.
Lie, lie, and lie.
And check
One.
your zipper.
You must be heard.
John Hurd?
2, you must be understood.
Huh? What?
What's that?
3, you must be pleasing.
Do I please you? Do you find me pleasing?
Now remember these 3 points. You must be heard, you must be understood, and you must be pleasing.
Oh, and you must have a
Now,
wire
most
rack.
of us fall short in at least one of these 3 points. For instance,
Well, the fact is, we spent many nights in the
Panties.
jungle
Oopsie. Sorry.
looking for headhunters. One night, just as the
Tap pants.
sun was going down, we heard a noise in the bushes. Something was
Dance belt.
creeping towards
No,
us.
no.
All of a sudden, it attacked us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It
was,
attacked us.
Scattered about.
An ostrich. Now, this ostrich.
What a
was-
pathetic loser.
many of us clutter up our speech with uhs and ers.
Yeah.
And in this way, we create vocal static.
Yeah.
We can be heard, yes. And we can be understood.
Yes.
But we're dull and boring.
Oh.
Now, here's another typical example.
This man's wearing a push-up bra. Now he's pleasing.
Student government is something we've all worked for. And now that we have it, we must make it work for us. We have all given our time and our ideas and our
But
strength.
please don't hit
possible,
me,
and now
please.
we cherish it, nourish it, and make it live.
Poor child.
Most of her audience can't make out what she is saying.
And what a wire
So
rack.
she's not heard, she's not understood, and she's not very pleasing. Now let's look once more.
Funny thing happened up there in the station. See, I was sitting there waiting for the fellas. We were going
I
out.
was under the bleachers at the
The guy
ball
come up
game,
to me
and
and
that's
gave
when
me
the
a
cop
big
chased me out and
song
asked me what I was doing.
It being
Pretty
his
much.
seat, and I said, Mister, I said, this isn't your seat. You see, I've been sitting here a whole lot longer than you seem to think I have. And I think that
Garrison
since this
Keillor.
seat,
He's got it all wrong.
belongs
He's
to
the
me,
dummy
that
and the
seat-
ventriloquist.
It's not hard to find fault
Don't
with that
worry,
speaker.
we've had him put down.
Many of his listeners won't be able to understand him, and those that do
Well, wish you
won't
were
admire
dead.
his sloppy speech. Do you know
That I have little bunnies
that
painted
the
on my
trouble
knees?
with most of
I
the
do.
speakers we have heard can be traced to one thing.
Tight under things.
Practically all of us would be better speakers if it were not for this one big fault.
If it-
Carelessness?
Huh?
Yes, carelessness is at the root of
This
most of
doesn't
the
look
ills of poor speech.
Huh.
If this speaker would concentrate upon overcoming his speech fault of saying and he could be an interesting and effective speaker. Does carelessness make you this type of speaker?
Think about it, won't you? Thank you.
Now this girl is marked by carelessness
And the
because
devil.
she speeds over the words of her speech just to get them said. And she drops her voice at the end of sentences. so
And
her
she
audience
drops
has
to the floor and
difficulty
rolls
in
her eyes
hearing
into the
and
back of her head.
understanding her. Is carelessness making you this type of speaker?
Think about it, won't you? Thank you.
Or is your carelessness the same as that of the man who runs his words together, mumbles, drops his G's,
Drops
and
his
uses
pants and
generally
robs convenience
sloppy
stores.
speech? Have you found yourself yet? Do you know what your careless speech habits are? The important thing is to recognize the trouble and then take steps to correct it.
And then crush it
Now
like a
let's see if we can
cockroach.
help you. First,
Don't
every
open beer
good
bottles with your
speaker should
teeth.
practice opening the mouth wider than usual as he or she speaks.
And fresh breath,
In this
please.
way, the words can flow out and the audience can easily hear you. Speak with life and animation, yet speak deliberately. Use plenty of lip and tongue action. To enunciate clearly, so you will be understood.
And don't forget the wire
Speak
rack.
in low, full tones, so that what you say will be pleasing and appealing to the ear.
And potent.
Don't let your voice be high, shrill, and unpleasant just because you're a little excited. Keep it low and pleasing.
I like it that way.
Speak
Well, here's
with
young George
variety.
Patton, a patriot and into
Change
high-grade
pace
weed.
so that each sentence doesn't sound just like the other.
When
if
David
you
Dukes
want
is
to keep your
elected,
audience
we will
interested,
take over the
Your
country.
manner of speaking must be pleasant and interesting.
Do I please you?
Finally, let your voice and speaking manner reflect your own personality. Let it be sincere and typical of you, rather than stilted and stagey. For
Like me.
Ladies, I'm so glad to see you all here and see you looking so well.
It's an Aunt B
Our
convention.
subject this afternoon is flowers. Don't you just adore flowers?
She is one hot
Do you
mama.
see what I mean? Now, what she really meant to say was this.
My life is a hollow
I'm awfully glad
lie.
that you've come out today, ladies. Glad to see you looking so well. The subject of our discussion is flowers, one of which I'm particularly fond.
Poppies.
I know that many of you, too, share my great enthusiasm for this subject.
The idea is to be interesting. Interesting but real.
Firm yet yielding
Now,
to the
are there any
touch.
questions?
Professor Bueller,
Yes?
won't people think I'm peculiar if I start speaking differently than I ever have before?
People think that already,
Now, that's
you
a
dope.
good point. But I don't think you need worry about it. You see, your speaking voice will become more adequate
like
as
Brenda
you practice
Vaccaro.
the rules of good speaking. And your friends won't think that you're peculiar. On the other hand, they're more likely to admire you
For having the
for
courage to
having
come out in
improved
public.
your manner of speaking. Speak audibly, so you may be heard.
John heard.
Speak distinctly, so you may be understood. And speak with life and enthusiasm, so you may be pleasing.
And get yourself a good wire rack.
And remember that good speech will be a great asset to you always. It is the mark of a cultured person and a well-developed personality.
And a good friend.
Take pride in your voice and your speaking manner. Take pride in the way you sound.
Put out some chips or
have
something. Didn't your
only
mother
one
teach you
voice.
anything?
Be careful how you use it.
Could go off.
Look, there's a hammer and a sickle in that eye. Beware.
The commie threat.
Speech! 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 Woo! Speech! Woo! Speech! Lip and tongue action! Woo! Woo!